pretty good. That's pretty good. Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are taking a look at the energetic Armament Sonus. And before we get this video started, there is not going to be a sponsor for this video. Instead, I'm going to tell you guys about a way that you can support the channel that has been live for quite some time. You can actually click the link down in the description for this video. I'll try to make it the first link down there, and I'll pin it in the comments. It is to my Subscribestar account. There's not any extra content on there, but a lot of you guys might want to support the channel, and that's a way to do it by just throwing me a couple bucks a month. Seriously, anything helps out, and I know it's a little bit more of an ask because there's not a lot of money going around these days. These videos are very expensive, and again, I seriously appreciate any support you can give me over at the Firearm Freedom Subscribestar account. Energetic Armament. What an interesting new company that I have been taking a look at. Now, Energetic Armament is not new by any means. This is just the first time that I have really ever taken a look at an Energetic Armament suppressor. Now, the Sonus is a 9mm suppressor that is new for the Energetic Armament line, and I really was pumped to take a look at it. One of the first things that you guys will notice, aside from it being just your regular 9mm size suppressor, is that it has this pretty awesome finish on it. And this is a Met Ox finish, and really what it is kind of this really cool bare metal finish on just how stainless comes out of the oven after it's heat treated. The really cool thing about it is as you shoot it over time, that steel finish right here is going to continue to kind of warp and get cool in the colors, so that is pretty freaking awesome. Now, this is, as you guys heard me mention there, a 17.4 stainless can, and your baffles are going to be 17.4, including the outside of the can. This suppressor is going to utilize a wipe technology, and you guys can see there that the wipe is relatively shot out. I have noticed a lot of different wipe materials used in the past, from just more rubber, and this has kind of like almost like fibers running through it. Now, Energetic Armament, I can't show it here on YouTube, but their manual is pretty awesome with this. They even give you the McMaster car part numbers if you were to possibly figure out a way to make this wipe around the exact same size, so blowing it out isn't as big of a deal. But I do want to note that this wipe, after shooting some 9mm, does have a 9mm size hole through it. I have noticed that the rubber wipes kind of suction around the bullet heading through there a little bit better than these wipes, in my opinion. What is a wipe going to do in a suppressor? A lot of people aren't really familiar with why that would be there. Typically, what the wipe is going to do is get rid of any first round pop that the suppressor has, or if the very first round that is fired, there's no gas in the suppressor, so typically that first round will be a little bit louder than the others. The wipe does a great job in getting rid of that entirely, and in this case it absolutely did. As you are seeing on the outside of the suppressor, it is a fully welded can. It is not user serviceable, so as we kind of know, that is going to be nice in the strength department. You are not going to be able to take it apart and clean it for shooting rimfire and other things through the suppressor. Now, with that being said, I am very much excited about all of these new companies coming out with pistol cans that are also rated for a limited amount of rifle calibers. In this case, you have your standard ratings for this, which is going to be 9mm. It's full auto rated for that. It is going to have no barrel length restrictions. You can burn it down with 9mm. You can also shoot 300 blackout supers and subs, and generally speaking, with 300 blackout, you want to go easy on supers with your rate of fire. Subs, you can just burn it up with this thing. It will work 100%. It can also do 8.6 blackout, subsonic only with that. You got 38, 357, and generally speaking, there are no barrel length restrictions whatsoever, provided the can is kept below 1,000 degrees, which is, again, a really nice feature. But what is also interesting to me is that you can shoot 350 Legend, 7.62 by 39, and 5.56. Now, you got a 10-inch minimum barrel length restriction with those calibers. It's a limited firing schedule with those. You don't want to be burning it down with it. Now, you guys are going to notice here that you got flats on the top where the front cap is and where the wipe is. Unfortunately, I can't actually take that off on video here on YouTube, but it comes with a handy dandy tool that you can simply get right on there and use that for everything that you would need to do with the front cap. And then you also, again, have nice flats in the rear with your tool. It also comes with a really nice vice block. This is a cool thing that I think companies are now throwing with suppressors. I really dig that. It's nice to have extras with the suppressor. Similar to a lot of other cans these days, you have the 1.375 by 24 industry standard mounting in the back. Now, I am a little bit indifferent with that thread pitch on a pistol suppressor or a subgun suppressor, and there's really only one reason for that, and it is my absolute die-hard love for tri-lug mounting. When you are looking at rifle suppressors, that should be not even a question. That should be the thread pitch that you have in the back no matter what. There are a lot less mounting solutions for tri-lug and pistons, for that matter, out there for the 1.375 by 24. Now, at the end of the day, you're basically looking at Silencer Co. right now. You have to get two parts as well. So if you already have a hybrid, this is not really a big deal. But if you don't, like in my case, it's kind of a good bit of money. You're looking at the Silencer Co. piston housing, which is like 150, 160, sometimes even closer to $200, depending on where you find it. And then you're also looking to have to get additionally their tri-lug housing that goes inside of the piston mount. That's a lot of money to be able to just run tri-lug, or for that matter, anything but direct thread. So why do I say that's about the only one out there? I'm going to do some testing in the future, not with this suppressor, with other cans with the Yankee Hill tri-lug mount. They do make the 1.375 tri-lug mounting system. That's a lot cheaper. It's like $105. I've heard a lot of hit or miss stuff with those about baffle strikes and losing concentricity. So again, I'm going to do some testing on that, kind of prove that theory for myself in the future. Hopefully prove that it's an okay mount and not that it's bad. But other than the Yankee Hill and the Silencer Co., those are kind of the only two that you have. Now, of course, you can put ASR mounting devices in there. You can put Chemo and all the other rifle-style mounting devices in 9mm. However, for me and subguns, I gotta run it tri-lug. That's just what I love about the PCC and subgun world is tri-lug mounting. That's just a minor gripe, and the solution to that, in my opinion, would be a company that's coming out with a subgun can to also come out with a tri-lug mounting system for the back, whether that is to go to the 1.375 or a different style of threads in the back for their own proprietary tri-lug system. That is what I think about the subgun cans. Now, you guys might have an entirely different opinion, and if you do, put that down in the comment section. I would love to hear it. How did this suppressor perform at the range? It performed incredibly well. I had absolutely no complaints. When you're looking at 150 grain ammo suppressed, I was shooting some of that Syntech, and it is like laughably quiet. You guys are going to hear that in the beginning of this video. For the majority of the range day, I was shooting 115 grain standard ammo, and it wasn't bad at all. I mean, you were noticing the supersonic crack downrange, but at the shooter's ear, it wasn't a big deal. A little bit of a shout out. Can I get a round of applause for being one of the very few YouTubers that's using a freaking original IMI Uzi for a 9mm suppressor video? Come on. I mean, you got to give me something for the taste of the choice of subgun for this video. And that had a little bit of the reason why I was running with ears the entire time with hearing protection. The Uzi is a just standard blowback subgun, and what you're going to have there with the semi-auto version is a little bit of bolt slap, so it is going to be minorly uncomfortable with 115 grains at the ear. If you're using an MP5 variation like my SP5, it is definitely a little bit more quiet. That's probably what we're going to use primarily in the future, but I had to give the Uzi some love in this video. The very sleek design of the Sonus 9 is awesome on something like an SP5. That is where this is ultimately going to live with the tri-lug mount. It looks just choice on that gun, and even on direct thread mounts, it does not look bad. It looks really cool, not super gaudy and shiny or anything, but just has a very different look, and your eye gets drawn to it. So overall, I heated it up a ton. I had no complaints there. You're coming in at sub 800 bucks, so I would say it's on par with a lot of other suppressors that are on the market in its class. For $17,400, could you see the price maybe come down a little bit? Maybe. I don't know that it's entirely off. I mean, you're seeing other options that we're going to look at in the future with other materials that might be a little less in the price point or around the same. So maybe that can come down in the future. But on the other side of that coin, this suppressor is very nice in the fit and finish department. I don't have anything about it as far as gripes of seeing any sort of nicks or dings or bad threads. This thing looks excellent. Energetic Armament did a great job with this can. Guys, that is going to wrap up this first impressions video on the Sonus. If you have any other questions about this suppressor or anything else on the channel, please head down below into the comment section, and I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.